When I dreamed about getting solar, I was expecting to save money, but what I didn't expect was that I would earn money. And if you're in the right situation, not only could you have your electric bills covered, but you could actually earn money on top of that with solar. For example, if you had previously installed solar in New Jersey, you could be making hundreds of dollars per month on top of not having electric bills. I've had this system for about 3 years now, and I want to give you an update and show you how we maximize the financial benefits of solar, and I want to show you all my numbers from the past calendar year so you can see how this is possible even through all those cloudy and snowy days.
Now I want to say up front that solar is not a great financial choice for everybody, and there's a lot of potential factors. You have to crunch the numbers to see if it's worth it, and that includes whether you install it yourself like I did or you hire someone else. I always recommend people use PV Watts as a first step. It's a free online solar estimation tool. I have instructions on how to use it in my solar guide. If you're interested, check the link below. This system here has been running for about 3 years. I have never cleaned them, and other than tugging on a wire to make sure it didn't rub against the roof, I have not done any maintenance on the system.
So to summarize our setup, I installed a 15.6 kilowatt system made up of 48 solar panels that generates enough electricity year-round to cover our electric heaters, our cooling, and the electrical needs for our family of 7.
I want to talk about 3 key ingredients for how a grid-tied solar array can be such a great investment. I want to show you our numbers for each, and you'll see at the end how we ended up positive overall. The first is production, which should be obvious. You want as much sunshine on your panels as possible, and you want to point them towards the equator. The second is net metering. This is where the utility gives you credit for any excess electricity you send to the grid. And the third are renewable energy credits. Here in the Northeast US, where I'm at in Pennsylvania, they call them SRECs. Now there's actually a fourth situation to consider, and that's if you have time of use rates and a strategy with batteries. But we have fixed rates here, so I can't show you the numbers for that situation.
So the first thing to understand when looking at the value of solar is how much is saved because of the electricity our panels generated. So we need to figure out our annual usage. And to do this, we have to add up what our system produced by solar and how much we purchased from the power company. So if I look on my app, it says that in the last year, the system produced 19.18 megawatt hours, or that's 19,180 kilowatt hours. And if I look at all my bills for the last year, there were actually 2 months where we had to buy electricity from the power company. And you might say, well, I thought you said you earned money. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But we had to buy 21 kilowatt hours in February and 999 in March. If we add all of these up, our household used about 20 megawatt hours, or 20,200 kilowatt hours. So if we take what our solar panels produced and divide it by the total amount of electricity our house used, we see that solar provided about 95% of all of our electrical needs. And monetarily, if rates were about 10.5 cents per kilowatt hour times what our solar panels produced, that tells us we saved in electric costs around $2,014 last year. And by comparison, electricity rates just went up to 13 cents per kilowatt hour. So if our system makes the same amount, that means we're saving about $500 per year more because we have solar already. And because we have solar, not only are we insulated from this price increase, but other future price increases.
A lot of people think we have batteries. We don't actually have any batteries integrated into our whole system, but the key piece here is that we get credit for any excess energy we send to the grid, and this is called net metering. If you look on my power bill here, there's a section called banked kilowatt hours. This is where they record all of that stored up credit that we get. So what happens is that we build up a lot of credit in the summer during those long sunny days, and then we draw down from that credit in the winter.
So last year we saved over $2,000 because of solar, but now let's look at what we actually paid and received. Here are the totals that I paid the power company every month. You can see here January through December. All of this adds up to a yearly total of $129.66. Now there is a normal charge on here on our bills of about $7. You can see $7.30 that we can't get out of. You can kind of think of it as like a grid connection fee. And you might say, okay, well, why did these all turn to zero? And that's because I'd mentioned net metering. What the power company does every year in May is something called a true up. And so they take any banked kilowatt hours that you have still left, and then they pay that out. So you can see on my May power bill here that I was credited $49.87. And this financial credit is used up all these months until it runs out, and you can see it ran out here in December. So now let's talk about what we've received from solar. Besides that true-up credit in May, solar is also beneficial because we can sell energy credits, or sometimes they're called certificates. Many US states offer these. Around here, they are called SRECs, for Solar Renewable Energy Certificates, and you get one certificate for every 1,000 kilowatt hours of solar produced. And my system produces about 19 megawatt hours a year, which equals 19 certificates. And then I can sell these on the open market whenever I want. Here's how it works. It's pretty easy. My system is registered on this website that manages the certificates. And as you can see here, this is their coverage area. So each month, if I remember, I log in and enter in my solar generation here. I take the numbers from my meter, and then once a month, they mint the certificates. Down here, you can see there are dates that are missing, and that's because I forgot to do it for a few months. But it's no problem because I just put in the total here from the meter and splits them accordingly over the months. So with a few clicks, I've submitted 9 certificates worth. And then if I go to Flood Exchange, which is my favorite broker to sell them to, I see on their website that they're currently offering $40 each. So in a few weeks when these certificates are minted, I can sell these 9 for about $350. So in Pennsylvania, they're offering $40 per SREC. But check this out. If you live in Washington, D.C., you can fetch up to $300 per SREC.
Now there are lots of places where it's great to have solar, and I'll show you my net earnings in a second. But if you want to get a free solar quote, you should check out DroneQuote. They're today's sponsor, and they'll get you multiple competitive solar quotes on your behalf. One thing I like about them is that they tell you if solar is not a good fit for you. They only work with vetted installers, and they highly value their reputation. If you look online at their reviews, you'll see that many people echo the same thing, that DroneQuote is known for being honest, their integrity, and their service. And when you get quotes from them, you also get access to their What's My Price tool, where you can customize your system. Now they're called DroneQuote for a reason, because they hire licensed drone pilots to video your roof before and after the installation. Beforehand, they're looking for optimal panel placement or noticing any issues with your roof, and afterwards, they do a careful inspection. Here in this example, they caught a broken roof tile and repaired it. They offer a full warranty on their systems, and they're committed to a no-pressure sales approach. I'll link to their website below. Okay, so the big question, how much did we earn? We used over 20 megawatt hours of electricity last year, and we were net positive in terms of finances. So to calculate this, we sold 19 SRECs at an average price of $27. This gives us an income of $513. And if we subtract off the $130 that we paid to the electric company, you can see that we were net positive $383. So if we take our earnings plus what we saved on electricity costs last year and add them together, this means our investment in solar gave us a return of about $2,400, or that's about $200 a month. So the SREC prices last year were $27, and now they're $40. Electricity prices have gone up, and so our investment in solar, I'm pretty happy with it. When I first designed the whole system, I expected, 5 to 7 years payback, but now it's looking like 5 years or less. So remember to crunch the numbers and consider all the factors if you're thinking about getting solar. And if you want to learn more about solar, hang out with me, check out this video over here, and I'll see you there.